Hi everybody, I just want to take a few minutes and show you how you can take a PDF worksheet and convert it to a fillable form that you can distribute to your kids through Google Classroom or whatever online platform you're choosing to use. You get PDFs through a lot of different formats. Sometimes you get them in your curriculum packages. Other times you may get them, you've bought them off of a site like Teachers Pay Teachers, or you've just found them somewhere on the internet and you decided it would be a good resource. Here's the issue with that. When I take this and put this in Google Classroom, the kids can't fill it out right online. They would have to print it out, do the work, then they'd have to either scan it or take a picture of it and resubmit that to Google Classroom. So there's a lot more steps on their end. So what I'm about to show you should save that time. It's a little bit more work on your end, but it might end up saving you some time as well. So the first problem that we have to overcome is the fact that PDF files don't insert into a Google slide or a PowerPoint or whatever. All right, they will only accept images. So we need to, first of all, convert this into an image. If you're using something like Adobe Acrobat, it's a little bit easier because if you go under File, you can go to Export and the options right there. However, a lot of us don't have that on our machines, so we have to come up with another method. And fortunately, there are on every platform, Windows, Mac, and Chromebook, there's a way to do this. So I'm using a Windows PC to do this today, but I will overlay the commands to do this in a Mac and a Chromebook. The first thing that you are going to do is you're going to go down to your Start menu. All right, and what program you're going to be looking for is your snipping tool. So I'm just going to start typing in snip. All right, and that will come up. It is a pre-built app into every Windows machine. And it just brings up this little menu right here. You can ignore the snipping tool's moving stuff right now. The current snipping tool works just fine for this. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to New. And it's going to gray out your entire screen. The next step that you're going to do is you're going to select what you want the snipping tool to take a picture of. Basically what the snipping tool does is it takes a picture of anything that you have currently on your screen that you've selected and saves it in a PNG format. So I'm going to select what I want and I'm going to release, and there's my worksheet. All right, so the next thing I need to do is I need to save that. So I'm going to go to File and I'm going to go Save As. And then I'm going to just give this a name. So I'm going to call it Simile Worksheet 3. I've tried this several times. So, all right, I'm going to make sure that's on my desktop just so I know where it's at. If you put your file somewhere else, put them where the easiest place for you to find it is. I'm going to hit Save. So now, if you look at my desktop, all right, so there it is right there, and I can open it up. And it opens up as a picture file. So we're good there. The next thing we need to do is bring that over to Google Slides. So if you're unfamiliar with Google Slides, it's basically Google's version of PowerPoint. You can do presentations, but it's really versatile and you can do a lot more things with it. I will probably be creating some more quick videos of other things that you can do with Google Slides here in the near future. So to get to Google Slides, if you're logged into your computer, you can just go to your Google Drive and you can go over to New and you can choose Google Slides right here. Or you can go to the app launcher and go here. Now the third way that you can do this, I'm not actually going to, is you can go to a new tab and you can type in slides.new. Now, here's the thing with that though. You need to make sure that if you're using slides.new that you are synced with Google. Right now, I am not. My wife is logged into this machine, so it would save all this to her Google Drive and wouldn't be able to access my Google Classroom. So I'm going to get out of there, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go to slides. And for this, all you want is a blank slide. All right, now you're going to notice something right away, that we're putting this picture on this slide, but the slide is not the correct format for a typical worksheet. So we need to change the size of the slide. You can make these slides any size you want. Right now they're just formatted to where if you were to present this, it would fit a computer screen. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Page Setup. And you'll see it's set as widescreen 16:9. I'm going to go down to Custom, and I'm just going to change it to the typical size of a piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. And I'll hit Apply. So there you have your typical piece of paper. You've got these boxes on here. You can just select that, and you can just get rid of those because we don't need those. Now, for those of you who are Google Slides inclined, the first thing that you'll want to do from here is go to Insert an Image. That's not what I want you to do here. All right. Instead, I want you to make the photo or the image into a background. Reason being that if I inserted this as a photo, the kids could move the image around and it would be a hot mess really quick. So I'm going to go to background. I'm going to choose my image, and I'm going to browse, and that was on my desktop. So here's our Simile Worksheet 3. I'm going to hit Done, and there you have the worksheet in a Google Slide, and it's now the literal background of the slide. The kids can't move this around now, so that's pretty key. Now from here, it's actually fairly easy to make this into something that the kids can type in. All you need to use is this tool right here, which is a text box. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit to my slide so I can see it a little bit better. All right, and all I need to do is I'm going to take my text box, and everywhere where there's a blank, I'm going to just draw a text box out. Now, you can move this around wherever you want so it lines up with the lines if that's what you'd like to do. One recommendation that I would give you is, rather than just leaving them blank like this, the kids aren't going to know to click there. So type in, click here. All right, and then now all they have to do is they can click and they can change that to whatever they want. Now, if you look, this worksheet's got like 15 things. I don't want to have to draw out 15 different text boxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this text box. So I'm just going to hit Control-C on my keyboard, and then Control-V as in Victor. Oh, I did that wrong. Control-C, unclick off of it, Control-V. So now I have another text box, and I just have to drag that where I want it. So I can continue to do that, and all I have to do is drag those text boxes where I want the kids to be able to fill something in. So I'll do a few more here so you get the idea. All right, and I would continue on doing that for all of those that I wanted. Okay, I've got all those filled in now. Now let's say I wanted to add a little bit more to this, like if I wanted the students to be able to write their own simile. What I could do is, in any of the blank space on this worksheet, I could draw another text box and put my own questions. So let's say I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to just draw out a text box and say, now it's your turn. Write your own simile. All right, and if I wanted to kind of like make that to where they notice it, I could take that and I could fill that in with a different color. So let's say I wanted that to be blue like that. So it just gives it, offsets it, and they see that it's something else that they have to do. And again, all they'd have to do is go down here, click, and then they could type that. So that is how you would make the document itself fillable. Now to get it over to Google Classroom, I'm going to go and first of all, I'm going to make sure that I give this a name. So I'll just call this Simile Worksheet. And depending on where you save it in your drive, you can go over and select depending on what file you want this in. So let's say this was in my 3rd hour multimedia tech class. I could just move it there. All right, so it'll tell you that it's moved it, and you now have a worksheet that the kids are able to work with. So now to get it to them, I'm going to go to Google Classroom. So classroom.google.com. And again, if somebody else is using your computer, you may have to log into your file. So let's say I was adding this to that multimedia tech class. All right, I'm going to go here, and remember with Google Classroom, if you're making an assignment, you're going to go over to classwork. All right, so you're going to go to create an assignment and give it a title. Any directions? Use your knowledge about similes to complete this worksheet. Make sure you hit the turn in button when completed. All right, so let's go back into that. So for those of you unfamiliar with Google Classroom, you can go over to the sidebar here and you can choose which classes you want that in of your classes. You can also choose which students you want that in, how many points, a due date, and all of that. For this one, I'm just going to leave all of that blank. But what I am going to do is I need to add the file. So if it is an external file, you'd go to File. But since this is something that I did in Google Slides, I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And I'm going to go to Recents. And there you see that one of my recents is the Simile worksheet I just did. All right, now here's the last important step to that. You're going to go to, you have 3 choices here. Students can view the file, they can edit the file, or make a copy for each student. In this case, you want them to be able to each work on this on their own, so you're going to make a copy of it for each student. If you choose one of the other options, if they can view it, they can't do anything with it, they can't make changes and all that. If they can edit it, they would be editing your original, so you don't want that. So make a copy for each student, and then you just hit the Assign button. All right, and then we'll hit Assign. And it takes a minute. And there you go. You see that that worksheet now is available for all of them. All they have to do is click on the worksheet, and it will bring it up for them to do their own thing in. So when they're done, all they'll need to do is, once they filled this out, they just hit the Turn In button. So that's just a quick way to get a worksheet online so that the kids can fill it out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can email me or you can call or text me. I'll leave my contact information in the description below. I hope you all have a good day. Stay safe and stay healthy.